kinakaltas na natin sa Kongreso ang kanilang branding. Napuputukan na po tayo ng bulkan. Tayo po ay #1 sa World BRICS Index, hindi dahil sa atin, yun ang pinagbuklod ng kalikasan na kailangan matuto tayo maging resilient at matuto ng mitigation at adaptation. Sa halip po niyan, na halos walang suporta sa pag-promote sa ating kagandahan, kagalingan, kalikasan, at sa pagputok ng bulkan, pagputok ng masamang balita. Because we love to self-flagellate. Sa panahon ngayon ng globalisasyon at sa dami po ng nakakakita ng nagaganap dito, totoo man o hindi, ang ibang bansa, promote ng promote, tayo rin. Pero paano naman maghihingalo ang pag-promote kung mas marami ang gustong negatibo? Hindi ko sinasabing dapat paktakpan ang negatibo. Ang sinasabi ko lang, i-overwhelm natin ang ating narrative sa mga magagaling, mamaganda, nagdulot ng trabaho sa kanayunan. Ito po ang pinakamalaki na pagkakataon at oportunidad na magkaroon ng trabaho hanggang sa pinakaliblib na barangay sa bundok at pinakamahirap na pamilya sa kabukiran at sa kapatagan at sa coastal communities. Alam ko po yun. Galing po ako sa isang untouched but beautiful province. At dahil may konti pong investment sa turismo, maski lokal lang po, nagkakatrabaho po ang mga tao. Having said that, Mr. President, I am so grateful that your honor had helped me introduce, and thank you to the chair, the additional 500 million branding. I also wanted to say that when you compare our investment in tourism with our ASEAN neighbors, sila po times 2, times 5%, tayo po napakaliit. At kasama na dyan yung ating kakulangan. Let me just put on record, the Philippines operates with a marketing budget of only $52 million, while Thailand allocates $168 million, 3.2% larger. Indonesia, $234 million, 4.5% larger. And Malaysia, $263 million, 5 times larger. This massive budget gap severely limits global visibility and competitiveness, even though the Philippines delivers the highest yield per tourist, 2,055, and one of the best ROIs in ASEAN. Ano pong ibig sabihin po nito? Yung ginagastos po ng kada turistang dumarating. Tayo po, ayon again, sa datos, hindi ko po inimbento to, hindi naman po inimbento ng matalinong abogadong secretary ng tourism, tayo po ang pinakamalaki na per capita ginagastos po. At yan po ay base sa mga datos. So, I am grateful to your honor for supporting this, and perhaps when we do our final committee report, we can even enhance further the tourism budget.
Well, that's nice for you to confirm that it's not even half, no, or even a fraction of what the other countries are spending for promotions and branding, and yet at least we are able to make do. But we help, no, of course we supported, because we know for a fact that tourism is one of the lowest hanging fruit right now. We cannot compete anymore manufacturing with China and other industries, but with tourism, we still believe that because of the beauty of our country, it's a matter of promoting it the right way. So with the increase, my question is, with the increase of the budget now for our branding and marketing, how optimistic is our tourism secretary or the DOT that at least we will be able to make giant strides or a big leap in terms of tourism arrival, at least now that we can better promote our country, the beauty of our natural beauty, in spite of all of this negative news. At least we're hoping that we can counter all of this, and also show that there is still a bright spot in the country, by showing the beauty of the country. So, Chair, can the chair say that we are optimistic that this will indeed at least help increase the tourism arrivals for the coming years?
Thank you. Again, I would like my answers to be data-driven and based on statistics. For every peso invested in tourism, Mr. President, there's a 5.5 or 550 pesos return. That's what, more than 450% return. So wala pong lugi, sukdulan po ang taas ng return. At gaya ng sinabi nyo, ito ang low-lying fruit. Mag-aambisyon pa tayo maging manufacturing giant? Baka. O ano pang ating hangarin bilang bansa? Pero ang pinagkaloob sa atin ay kagandahan ng ating mga bundok at mga beaches at ng ating kultura at kabaitan, kagalingan ng mga Pilipino. Pero tulungan naman natin ang Departamento ng Turismo at mga ahensya. Importante, pag may sasalubong sa mga bisita natin, lalo na sa airport, ay magalang at maayos at may respeto. Ang mga sasakyan, di ba? May sistema na hindi magulo. At paglaganap ang krimen, siyempre nababalita yan. Paano naman pag may kidnapping or even small kinds of theft? Nababalita yan. Pag tayo mismo ay puro away ng away at ang ating pinag-uukulan ng pansin ay puro negatibo sa ating bansa, ay paano naman po? So we must help each other without, of course, all the news must come out. Of course, there's transparency. Of course, there must be investigations in everything that's happening. But again, we must also improve our narrative by talking about the lives affected in a good way by tourism investments.
Well, we're one with you, and as a fellow tourism advocate, be rest assured of our support. In fact, in my personal advocacy, the Secretary knows this and the DOT knows this, that we have been promoting Philippine motorcycle tourism. The rationale is that because as riders, we know the beautiful places, the hidden treasures of the country, the culinary discoveries. So in our own little way, we are able to promote, but I think the budget of this is very small, but I think the reach will be enormous because there are a million riders in the country that can promote in their own little way the hidden treasures and discoveries. And I would like to thank the DOT, the TPB for the support through the years. It has become a very successful program. But just a request, there was a budget cut from almost 20 million before for the promotion of motorcycle tourism. Now we added a cyclotourism kasi po may mga cycling enthusiasts that we want to also to promote that the Philippines will be a good cycling destination, not only a motorcycle destination. A lot, in fact, last October, there was an event in Clark called Gravelton, supported by the TPB. There are a lot of foreign cyclists who went and participated. So I'm proposing that we continue this program because this will be a big boost also in promoting the country through motorcycle and cyclotourism, but at the fraction of a cost. So if the sponsor would, just a small amount, nasa 8 million po yung approved. We need about 20-25 million to promote, to continue promoting motorcycle and cyclotourism. So we will just try to source from other funds, if that's okay with the sponsor.
Of course, it is more than okay, Mr. President. I'd just like to put on record, the Philippine Motorcycle Tourism Program has built a strong community of riders, as you said, serving as tourism ambassadors while generating significant businesses for destinations across the country. From 2022 to 2025, PMT consistently delivered high returns with revenues ranging from 83 million to 486 million, yielding ROI between 69% and 276%. In 2024, the program achieved its strongest performance with 486 million in projected revenues and 276% ROI. For 2025, despite the decrease in budget, PMT is projected to sustain solid revenues of 456 million and 263%. And so, may I ask Your Honor to work with the LBRMO for the adjustment in the budget so that in the final Senate version of the committee report, your ask will be reflected. And I will find a source to be able to fulfill the need, Mr. President.
Thank you for that, Mr. President, Madam Sponsor. And like
that is, it would be dependent on the chair of the Committee on Finance, Senator Gatchalian, whom I hope and I know will consider that favorably.
And also next year, just for the attention of the Department, I also told them that there will be a big gathering. It's a World Congress where the Jewish Chamber International expecting about 5,000 foreign delegates coming to Clark next year. The last time we hosted was in 1998, the World Congress, and we were able to get about 4,000 foreign and 1,000 local delegates. So yun po, talagang built-in na. And also I would like to ask the support of the probably TPB, the DOT for just a little promotion because that's already a built-in activity. Wherein 5,000 foreign delegates are expected next year in Clark.
Mr. President, so there are two things that should be reflected in the final Senate version. It would be the adjustment on the motorcycle tourism and the ASPAC conference.
It's a World Congress.
World Congress. If it is not in the NEP, we will find out. The Senate ba, TPB, please work on it after this for the support for the Asia Pacific Congress. Yes, Mr. President, we will find the source for that, again, with the permission of the chair of the committee.
Okay, thank you for that, Madam Sponsor, Mr. President. I brought this attention to the Secretary. There about the duty-free employees. A lot of them sent email letters on the issue that I would like to bring to the attention of the sponsor. The plight of the employees. We're able to receive multiple complaints from the employees that they were affected with the restructuring of the Duty-Free Philippines Corporation, which affected about 500 employees. I don't know if this issue was brought to the attention of the sponsor, and what has the agency and or the department, what action has been taken so that at least the employees will see that we can prove that there's action being undertaken to address their complaints.
We are aware that there is a case, Mr. President, which is state on record. The affected employees duly received the retirement pay for services rendered from their employment up to August 2011, pursuant to the rules and regulations of the Employees Retirement Plan. It supposedly represents a full, complete, and final payment for services rendered with the FPC for said period. However, we know that there is a petition for certiorari, prohibition, and injunction. It was filed by the United Workers of Duty Free Philippines against Duty Free Philippines Corporation. So considering the case filed, considering its pendency, the FPC exercises extreme caution in divulging further details of the restructuring, which is the subject of the case, lest the sub judice rule be violated.
Thank you for that. At least there's already action by the agency and the department.
Yes, but I would ask the agency to look not just on the legality, but also the regularity and the humanitarian aspect also of this case. I will leave it at that, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. President, Madam Sponsor. And again, I'd like to reiterate my support, as always, to the Department of Tourism because as I mentioned, this is the industry that really can really help stimulate economic growth, especially in the midst of all of these challenges that we are facing now. Hopefully, with the Senate's amendment by increasing the budget, at least we can counter. No, we give our full trust and confidence in the Secretary Frasco and the whole DOT family, at least to be able to promote our country, the beauty of our country, and